I need ID from both of you, right now.
For what?
Because you're in a restricted area.
Restricted to residents. We live here. This is the gate credential.
Ma'am, I'm talking to him.
You came up like we're doing something wrong. What exactly is this?
Possible trespassing.
Trespassing?
Then prove it. Resin tags on the windshield, gate pass.
Mom, why is he yelling at us? That question hits first, and it hits hard. Inside a parked sedan on a quiet suburban street, everything feels wrong. The air is tight, heavy, the kind of silence that presses against your chest. Then comes the pounding voice. Step out of the vehicle, now. The man shouting is Officer Daniel Briggs, 41, broad-shouldered, rigid posture, eyes locked with the kind of authority that doesn't ask, it demands. Behind the wheel sits Elena Carter, 34, a composed but visibly shaken mother of two. Her fingers grip the steering wheel so tightly it almost looks painful. In the back seat, her daughter Mia is crying quietly, while her younger son Caleb is staring wide-eyed, frozen. What would you do in that moment? Elena swallows, trying to keep her voice steady. Officer, I don't understand. What did I do wrong? No answer. Just a sharper tone. I said step out of the vehicle. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Harder? For who? That's when something shifts. Not outside, but inside the car. Elena's fear doesn't disappear, but it changes. It sharpens, focuses, almost like she's realizing something the officer isn't. Because moments ago, she thought this was just a routine stop, maybe a misunderstanding. Now, it feels targeted, escalated, off. And then something even stranger. As Briggs steps closer, reaching for the door handle like he's about to open it himself, Elena doesn't panic. She pauses, looks at him carefully, really looks at him. And in that split second, something clicks. Recognition, maybe? Or something deeper? Without breaking eye contact, she slowly reaches down, grabs her phone, and taps record. Why start recording now? What did she just realize? And more importantly, why does she suddenly look less like a scared civilian and more like someone who knows exactly how this is about to play out? Are you sure you want to do that, officer? She asks quietly. It's not a threat. It's not fear. It's a warning. Briggs smirks, clearly thinking he's still in control. But here's the truth no one else sees yet. That single moment, that decision, it just triggered a chain reaction that's about to destroy everything he thinks he has power over. Because in less than 10 minutes, this routine traffic stop will turn into something no officer ever wants to be part of. And it all starts with one assumption that couldn't be more wrong. Before we continue with this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Ma'am, last warning, step out of the vehicle. The tone is sharper now, colder, like patience has officially run out. But here's the problem. Elena never gave him a reason to lose it in the first place. She exhales slowly, glancing once in the rearview mirror at her kids. Fear is written all over their faces. That alone is enough for her to move. Okay, she says softly. I'm stepping out. She opens the door carefully. No sudden movements, no attitude, nothing that could justify escalation. Just calm, controlled. But the moment her foot hits the pavement, Officer Briggs shifts. He doesn't relax. He circles her, like he's already decided she's guilty. You ran that stop sign back there, he snaps. Elena frowns, confused. I slowed down completely. Don't argue with me, he cuts in instantly. Wait, what? Elena blinks. Didn't he just tell her to step away from the vehicle? Still, she turns back toward the car, reaching for her bag. Hey, Briggs barks suddenly. I said step away from the vehicle. Elena freezes mid-motion. Now the contradiction is obvious. You just asked for my... Don't twist my words, he snaps again, louder. And just like that, the situation stops being about a traffic violation and starts becoming something entirely else. Across the street, a man watering his lawn lowers the hose slowly, watching. Another neighbor pulls out their phone. Because this doesn't look normal. Inside the car, Caleb starts prying. Not loudly, but enough. Enough to cut through everything. Elena closes her eyes briefly, then turns back around, facing Briggs fully now. "Officer, I'm trying to cooperate, but I need clear instructions. That should de-escalate things, right?" Wrong. Instead, Briggs steps closer, too close. "You're giving me attitude," he says under his breath, "and I don't tolerate that." There it is. Not law enforcement, ego. Pure and simple. He grabs her license from her hand a little too aggressively, scanning it like he's looking for something, anything to justify what he's already decided. "Elena Carter," he mutters. Then he looks up, eyes narrowing. "You live around here?" "Yes." "And what do you do?" That question hangs in the air. Strange, unnecessary. Elena hesitates for just a second. "I work in public service." Vague, controlled. But something about that answer shifts the energy. Briggs tilts his head slightly, studying her now, like he's trying to figure something out. But instead of slowing down, he doubles down. "Step behind the vehicle," he orders again, voice rising. "Hands where I can see them." This time, it's not a request. It's a setup. And Elena knows it. Because now she's certain of one thing. This officer isn't confused. He's escalating on purpose. But what he doesn't realize is that every move he's making is being watched, recorded, and quietly judged. And in just a few moments, someone else is about to step into this situation. Someone who will see everything he's missed. "You know what?" Elena says, her voice shifting, calm, almost unsettlingly calm. "Go ahead, call it in." That's not the response Officer Briggs expected. Not hesitation, not fear. Permission. "What did you just say?" he asks, narrowing his eyes. "I said, call it in," Elena repeats, steady. "If you think this situation needs to escalate, then escalate it." There's a pause, a small one, but it matters. Because for the first time since this started, Briggs hesitates. Why? Because something about her tone doesn't match the situation. She's not defensive. She's not nervous. She's certain. Still, his pride won't let him back down. "You think this is a game?" he scoffs, grabbing his radio. "Dispatch, I need backup. Possible non-compliant driver." Non-compliant? The words hang in the air like a lie no one asked for. Inside the car, Mia wipes her tears, watching everything unfold. Caleb presses his face against the glass, confused and scared. Across the street, more people have stopped. Phones are out now. This isn't private anymore. This is a scene. Minutes pass, but they feel longer. Then finally, another patrol car pulls up. Out steps Officer Marcus Hill, 29. Younger, sharper eyes, quieter presence. The kind of officer who observes before acting. "Hey," Hill says, walking slowly. "What's going on?" Briggs doesn't miss a beat. She ran a stop sign, got argumentative, refusing to follow commands. It sounds clean, simple, but it doesn't feel right. Hill glances at Elena, really looks at her. Her posture, her expression, the phone still recording quietly in her hand. Then he looks at Briggs again. There's a disconnect. "Ma'am?" Hill asks gently. Elena meets his eyes, calm, grounded. "I've complied with everything he's asked. I just asked for clarification when his instructions contradicted each other." That lands. You can see it in Hill's face. He's processing, comparing stories, not jumping to conclusions. But Briggs? He notices the shift and doesn't like it. "Step behind the vehicle," Briggs snaps again, louder this time. "Now." Elena doesn't move. The tension spikes instantly. "Officer," she says quietly, "before you go any further, You should really think about what you're doing." There it is again, that warning. But this time, it hits differently. Briggs lets out a short laugh, shaking his head. "Oh, I've thought about it." Big mistake. Because right then, Hill's radio crackles to life. A sharp voice cuts through the noise. "Unit 12, confirm location." Hill responds automatically, giving their position. Then the voice continues, clear, direct. "Sergeant Carter is en route." Everything stops. Briggs's expression freezes. "Repeat that?" he asks, his voice suddenly tight. Hill looks at him, confused. "Sergeant Carter, she's—" And then it hits. Not all at once, but piece by piece. The name, the calm confidence, the way she never panicked, the warning. Briggs slowly turns his head toward Elena, and for the first time since this started, he's not in control. Because the situation he thought he was managing just turned into something far bigger and far worse. The world feels different now, silent, heavy, charged. Briggs stares at Elena, and for the first time, the fire in his eyes flickers. Confusion, panic, recognition, all at once. "Sergeant Carter?" His voice barely carries. It's almost disbelief. Elena doesn't answer immediately. She lets it hang, the silence sharp like a scalpel cutting through the tension. Every second stretches. The street, the flashing lights, the bystanders, they all seem to hold their breath. "Yes," she says finally, calm, steady, controlled. "That would be me." It hits him like a punch. The same woman he shouted at, the same woman he threatened, the same woman he assumed was just another civilian. Now she's his superior, and worse, she sees everything he did. Officer Hill steps back, eyes wide, connecting the dots. "Wait, you're—" "Off duty," Elena clarifies with a slight nod. "With my kids." Briggs's stomach drops. His knees feel weaker than they should. He wants to speak, but words fail him. The weight of realization crushes him. He wasn't just wrong. He wasn't just mistaken. He abused his authority in front of witnesses, children, neighbors, and now his sergeant. Elena takes a measured step closer, her voice firm, professional. "This isn't about me personally. It's about behavior, actions, accountability." Briggs swallows. I didn't realize." "No, you didn't," Elena interrupts softly, almost gently. "This wasn't about misjudgment. It was about power and how you used it when you assumed no one important was watching." The flashing lights continue. Bystanders watch silently. Their phones record everything. There's nowhere to hide. Briggs's earlier threats, his shouting, his contradictions, they all hang in the air. The evidence is undeniable. The narrative has flipped. From across the street, another vehicle approaches, unmarked, command presence. Briggs's panic spikes. He realizes this isn't just a bad traffic stop anymore. It's an incident under official review, and every second is being documented, every word, every gesture. Elena doesn't need to raise her voice. She doesn't need to scream. Her presence, calm and authoritative, does it for her. Briggs can feel the consequences forming before anyone says them aloud. His actions, once shielded by his badge and assumed compliance, are now exposed. He is stripped of control. The balance of power is gone, and the truth is clear to everyone who can see, hear, or record. And in this moment, he finally understands that authority isn't given, it's earned, and can be lost in an instant. The moment stretches, but Elena knows it's time to resolve it. Time to show him exactly what happens when someone abuses the power meant to protect. The senior officer steps out of the unmarked vehicle, and the atmosphere shifts immediately. Professionalism replaces tension. Authority replaces chaos. Within moments, the process begins. Statements are collected. Body cam footage is flagged. Witness videos are secured. Every angle is documented. Every detail noted. Officer Daniel Briggs stands frozen. His face is pale, eyes wide. The realization of what just happened is sinking in. The stop sign violation? Unconfirmed. The escalation? Unjustified. The conflicting commands? Recorded. Undeniable. What had felt like control just minutes ago has completely slipped through his hands. Elena Carter watches silently. Her children, now calmer, peek through the car window. She doesn't look triumphant. She looks composed, authoritative, disappointed, but not vindictive. Her voice, when she speaks, is calm, measured. This is exactly what we train against, and exactly why public trust erodes when officers abuse authority. Emotions surge, relief, satisfaction, validation, not just for Elena, but for her children, the neighbors, and the community witnessing the event unfold. Briggs's arrogance, his reckless use of power has been confronted, and justice is now visible, undeniable, and public. Within hours, consequences are formalized. Officer Briggs is demoted, suspended from field duty pending internal review, and required to undergo retraining. His reputation is damaged, his authority stripped, his credibility gone. Officer Marcus Hill's statement supports Elena's account, providing further clarity and reinforcing accountability. Every action has a consequence. Every choice leaves a mark. Elena returns to her car, kneeling slightly to check on Mia and Caleb. "Are we in trouble?" her daughter asks softly. Elena smiles, brushing a strand of hair from her daughter's face. "No, sweetheart, we did nothing wrong." Her relief is quiet, but palpable. They start driving, the flashing lights fading behind them, but the weight of what happened, the lessons learned, the lines crossed, and the justice served remains. The broader impact resonates. The bystanders who recorded the incident